What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. You know my motto. I try to make sense out of nonsense, which is very difficult to do sometimes. But I ran across a politician that I have learned to love, okay? I've learned to respect this man, all right? I'm not sure if you're familiar with Congressman Dan Crenshaw. He was the guy that they made fun of on Saturday Night Live with the patch over his eye, former, I think, Navy SEAL. First of all, you got a lot of nerve to be making fun about a man that tough. All right, you're lucky this ain't the old school days where people meet you out in the street, Mr. Saturday Night Live guy. But he still took it in good humor and so on and so forth. And he won. And now he's, doing his little rounds, and he had the nerve to go to war with some of these, of course, liberal commentators on TV that's used to being able to throw out a whole bunch of nonsensical comments, all right, and nobody challenges them. Nobody. And see, they make these broad statements and they're able to push the propaganda this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back and I'm going to quarterback this video right here. Okay. Make a couple comments, maybe even referee the fight. I like to set up fights. I like to be Don King every once in a while. So we got in this corner, Dan Crenshaw. And then on the other side, we got, I'll just call them the fake news squad. Because every single one of them is fake news. So my man is so tough, he's going to go 1 against, I think, 4. All right, so now understand the odds. And this is how they win their battles sometimes. See, they'll bring on one person that is going to argue against it, and then they'll put 4 people, 5 people, whatever, stack them up against them, and then they'll just badger them. They won't give them a chance oftentimes to, once they start seeing that, oh crap, this person's making sense, they'll either switch the topic, go to somebody else, shut them down real quick, things like that. So this man got to be a true soldier to go into this type of environment in the first place. So they're going to start off with their normal, rhetoric, where they just throw out these very vague statements like, President Trump, he attacks our democracy. What does that mean? Give me some examples. And this is the problem with liberals. This is the problem with the Democrats. This is the problem with the liberal media. They make accusations, but they know what they're doing. They know that they don't want to get specific, because that's not what they do. They don't like, getting into the details and actually bringing out facts and references and reasoning. No, they like to throw out just things that can just drop into people's mind. Kind of like, what's the lady out in California? It'll come to me. The one that got out there and compared ICE, Kamala Harris, compared ICE with the Ku Klux Klan. And then she said, are you aware that there are perceptions out there? Who? See, this is where the vagueness come in. I just want to plant the seed that this is out there, but I'm not going to tell you where I got it from. It could have been my cousin. It could have been my own brain. It could have been my talking point that I got it from. Could have been the DNC telling me, you know what we need to do? We need to paint this narrative. See, so they don't want to get into that. And so when you just throw vague stuff out there, you leave it in the minds of the people, you just kind of leave it out there. So these people try that stuff, and look what Dan Crenshaw does. Okay, so here we go. Start off with the talking point, the pundit here. Here we go. Here's some guy.
But, my experience thus far, and I think Deb can touch on this as well as a member of the Progressive Caucus, but no, I don't think that's the case. I think we are all working together, rowing in the same direction, trying to save our democracy, to be frank. And so...
Why do you say save our democracy?
Well, look, I think that right now, it's important for this majority in the House to engage in some really critical oversight of an administration that is undermining a lot of critical freedoms for folks in our country. And so when I say...
Now, here we go. See? All right. This is what they do. We're trying to save our democracy, and they're undermining a lot of critical freedoms. Now, here's the thing. I challenge anybody out there to go around, talk to anybody that is a Trump hater, a Hillary supporter, a snowflake, whatever, and ask them, what's the problem? Now, they'll throw out a whole bunch of talking points that they get from these people, but they won't be able to give you specifics of how President Trump and his administration are, for whatever reason, rolling back your rights, taking away rights, principles, things that you're used to. Your life pretty much goes on operating the same way. You get up, you go vote, you go to school, you go to work, or do whatever it is you do. Nobody's busting into your house saying, get up out of the bed, let me search your stuff. And if I find anything that goes against our administration, we're dragging you out into the poppy fields, and that's where you'll be for the rest of your life. Nobody's doing that. But yet, if you listen to them, that's going on down every single day. So this man says, we're fighting against, to protect our democracy, So here's Dan Crenshaw. Give me the first.
Democracy. I mean, precisely that I think some of our democratic freedoms and the principles that we live by have been under attack for the better part of the last 2 years.
Now,
Here
it is. Before I even get to Dan, listen to the terminology that's used. Under attack. See, whenever you want to demonize the other side, you use harsh words that leave an impression in the mind of the viewer instead of, criticizing or debating or challenging. It's attack. See, it's always the drastic word. It's attack. Just like when President Trump removed the kids from the people that were crossing the border illegally. All right. It wasn't just removing the kids for the kids' safety to find out if the parents and the kids are really related. No. It was ripping babies from their mother. See, so to the kind-hearted, tender, liberal snowflake who's watching that and they hear that word ripping, they go, ooh, ripping. All right. When they hear words like, he's constantly attacking. Well, attack. Well, when you think of attack, you don't think of a good attack. Is there such thing as a good attack? I don't know about you, but I've been bit by a dog. I didn't say the dog was licking me very harshly, and then he decided to taste and make sure I wasn't poisoned, or, and he bit me. But it wasn't an attack. When I think of an attack, I think of the worst possible things, and that's what they want you to do. That's why they use words like, he's attacking our democracy. But let's see what happens.
That sentiment is the leader of your party.
Yeah. Well, I always ask the question, like what? What is he undermining exactly? What democratic freedoms have been undermined? We just had an election where we switched power in the House. Democracy is at work. People are voting and we're in record numbers. I always ask for examples, and then we can hit those examples one by one. And if it's worth criticizing, it's worth criticizing. But just kind of this broad brush criticism that the president is somehow undermining our democracy, I always wonder what exactly we're talking about.
I'll be happy to add all of the things that you
listen to them. See,
yeah.
They all got the talking points. See, they think, we about to bombard this man. Yeah, I'll be happy. I got a lot of stuff. You want me to go first? I'll go first. I'll field this one. All right, so let's see what they do. Now, once again, they don't want to get into specifics. Okay, so listen to this.
The free press,
right.
Judiciary, CIA, FBI, the voting process.
Obama indicted, had many press members under investigation. Trump is not.
It's true.
So what is
right off grip? He punches them in the mouth. They start off freedom of press. We got the FBI. We got the CIA. We got all of these things that, see, they're mistaking criticizing for attacking. See, that's the difference. See, they don't want to use the word criticizing or challenging or exposing, even perhaps. They're saying things like attacking, meaning my job is to stop you by force if I need to, not stop you by using my words that make more sense than your words and convincing other people that what you're saying is stupid. No. That's not what that means. See, it's, you know what? You're not allowed to criticize us. I feel like I'm under attack. And this is the problem with the left. Whenever they're challenged, they go, you're attacking me. And that's not, no, perhaps I'm just criticizing you or disagreeing with you. But you want to go to the extreme words, attack. And he throws out the press. Okay, now, see, this is where the unlearned are victims. Because, see, when they think of President Trump, when he chastises people like Jim Acosta, April Ryan, CNN, MSNBC, and then they get up there in their defenses, he's attacking me. He's attacking the freedom of press. See, in their mind, they want people to believe this is like Hitler. Now, people who don't know, history, or people who don't even study other regimes like Kim Jong-un's regime, North Korea, they might think, yeah, just the fact that he told Jim Acosta, you can't come back, that's an attack on the freedom of press, all right? Or the fact that he calls them names and he chastises them, that's an attack on the freedom of press. No, because guess what? Those people go right back to the studio and they say bad things about the president. They get on TV. They even do lawsuits to get back into the White House. A real regime, if they were under attack, you would never see these people again. The stations would be pulled off the network and everybody would open up with, hey, everybody, it's a sunny day in America. President Trump's running things great. We're here to talk more about how great he is. Yeah. Did you ever watch videos over in North Korea when Kim Jong-un step out on the balcony? Do you ever see anybody in the audience like this? You ever see anybody out there like, whatever, man? No, they're all crying, they're wailing and weeping like he's the supreme being. You know why? Because if somebody get caught nodding off or over there like, man, I don't see what the problem is. I mean, yeah, I know, but where am I going? Hold up, wait a minute. Yeah, see, that's a real regime. And because they go so extreme, and most people don't realize that you just went all the way to like dictatorship on this because he criticized them. Yeah, that's an over-exaggeration and propaganda designed to silence his mouth from criticizing them. So most people don't catch that because they don't understand what a real dictatorship is compared to what Trump does. See, so that's why they do it. They take advantage of the ignorance of the people. So let's see what my man Dan got to say about this.
What is so
this last week? One of the largest media publications in the United States, right, had to go to a federal court in order to essentially regain access to the press room.
One reporter, not the whole organization.
Including CBS, did file amicus briefs in support.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I think
look what they did. Obviously, they tried to say that he attacked CNN. No, he attacked Jim Acosta's behavior. It wasn't Jim Acosta's speech. Okay, it was Jim's behavior. Jim needed to sit his butt down. And then, of course, they filed this freedom, I guess, of press and freedom of speech lawsuit to get Jim back in there, who got Jim's butt kicked out of there in the first place. And just out of, I guess, kindness or to say, you know what, we got to support everybody in our industry, they all signed on to the lawsuit. But if you look at it, the argument was not about freedom of speech. The argument was about Jim Acosta's behavior. And see, they thought they were getting away with something by getting back in. Yeah, we got back in. But you know what all they did? All they did is gave the White House permission to put down guidelines and rules and regulations that will hold everybody accountable. Now, if I'm Jim Acosta or some other organization, I would be like, thanks a lot, Jim. You messed it up for all of us. Now we can only ask one question, and then we can't even grandstand anymore because if we do, according to the new rules, they kick us out. Thanks, buddy. It's like that kid who makes a problem, and then people say, well, you know what? Now we got to come up with rules for this problem, whereas before, everybody enjoyed the freedoms. Yeah, but somebody did something and then brought it to the attention, and they said, you know what we need now? We need rules. And then it became stricter than what it was prior. So thanks a lot, Jimmy. All right, let's continue. One person.
Much larger
because he was disruptive.
But, well, again,
I would argue that our president is consistently disruptive in those very same press conferences, and I would argue that he
how is that an attack on the press, though?
Because it's literally an attack on the press.
I've literally been attacked, so let's choose our words carefully.
His language is
an attack.
Okay, so why?
That right there, foot and mouth. See, you know, they don't take in consideration who they're talking to. All right, you're talking to a man who has reasoning skills to understand the difference between rhetoric and reality. All right, an attack is totally different than somebody criticizing you. So when he asked her that, she noticed the word. She didn't think he was going to call her on it. You know, plus she can't even respond to that because this man done put his life on the line. People who have been through things understand the difference between people just whining versus real problems. It's kind of like all the women in the Women's March. She was walking around with the vaginas on their head, talking about we're here to protect our rights and freedom of speech. The fact that you're out there on a Saturday whining with a vagina on your head, couldn't answer why or what freedoms are being rolled back, but you're getting out there and you're doing, and the police are there to protect you. These same men, you're out there fussing about men, these same male police officers are out there protecting your freedom to do this, and you're not even cognizant of the people in other countries who women, they don't even get a chance to do that. I mean, they like, well, great, you get to wear a vagina on your head. I can't even show my face in public. So what are you crying about? See, that's the problem with snowflakes. That's why we call them snowflakes. That's why we crack up and say liberal tears, because at the end of the day, we're going, what are you crying about? What do you see? This drastic language incites fear and division. It's not President Trump's rhetoric. It's you guys talking about an attack. And so he says, no, I know what an attack is. I literally been attacked. So what are you talking about? She like, oh, shoot, this man, he ain't playing. All right, so listen.
Why is he not allowed to use his own language and freedom of speech?
Because you talked about this, actually. It's important that we lead from example, that we lead from the top. And the way that our president is
I agree with you there. I agree with you there. Style is one thing. If you want to criticize, style, I'm with you, right? But to say it's an attack on the freedom of the press, that is a very bold statement.
By calling the press the enemy of the people,
yeah, I don't like that
is
language.
Literally.
Okay, so the style, I agree, I don't like that
and
language.
fake news,
Now,
of course.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
See,
And-
look this. They're trying to eliminate slogans that President Trump done coined. Things like the fake news is the enemy of the people. Now, what my man Dan Crenshaw does is he draws a distinction between style and actual action, okay? They're trying to make it seem like just the fact that President Trump calls them bad names like fake news, and he says things like the fake news is the enemy of the people, then we don't want people thinking that about us. We want free reign to just bash the president, criticize him. We don't like when people challenge us and expose our corruption and our motive and the fact that we really work for the Democratic Party. We don't want that. So what we have to do, we have to say anything that's going to stick in people's minds, because like forever now, CNN will be known as fake news network. Same thing with MSNBC. You know what? Hillary is always crooked Hillary. Yeah, she's going to be crooked Hillary forever. Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren always will be Pocahontas. So Trump will coin them, and people who are practical thinking, people who can see what they're doing, says, you know what? I understand that. That is, they are fake news now. See, they are fake news, and they don't like that because now they got to try to combat that, and they got to try to tiptoe around the fact that they really are fake news. So he draws the distinctions that, look, criticize his style if you want, but don't use words that are so drastic that you got people thinking that bombs are dropping on their houses.
I'll give you another example. His rhetoric about erasing trans people in our country. That
He's never
to
said
me,
that.
well, it
See, once again,
it appears
now,
that
notice this.
is discriminating.
No quotes, nothing. His rhetoric about eliminating transgender people. What the heck is she talking about? This is what I mean. Never saw a press conference. President Trump comes up. I'd like to say today that we're going to be eliminating the transgender people. Nothing. He's never said that we are going to eliminate. What does that even mean? I've heard transgender people say, just because you don't allow multiple genders to be on the birth certificate, you're trying to erase us. Drastic statements. Once again, how do you erase a person? No, we're trying to operate within the bounds of reality and science. That's all. That's all. You can say personally whatever you want to say about yourself, but don't bend all of society around your reality. You just live in your own reality. So by using words like attack on transgenders or eliminate transgenders, nobody ever said President Trump was going, we need to round up all these transgenders and do some experiments on them psychologically and get that transgender gene out of them. And if we can't, we got to just dispose of them because they're damaged goods. They're damaged goods. What is she talking about? So she just said his rhetoric. I don't even know what that means. But let's continue. Neither does she. She just stopped. That sounds like something cool to say. And Dan calls her on it and says, he never said that. What are you talking about? Give me the time, date, and the actual words. Did he say it? But she can't do that.
It's the LGBTQ community, and I think that's troublesome. I think it's worrisome.
It's worrisome. It's troublesome. The GLBTQ25732 semicolon community, all of that stuff. Yes, it's worrisome. And I'm thinking to myself, I haven't heard anything about rolling back any of their rights or persecuting them or stifling their ability to earn a living, say what they want to say, do what they want to do in the privacy of their own home. Perhaps maybe an opinion about them saying, you know what, we're going to shove our lifestyle down everybody's throats. And even if it violates the conscience or the religion, but even with that, this is the best time in history to be gay in America. I hate to say it. They have everybody on the run. So now all of a sudden you're creating a false narrative. I had gay people on my channel saying things like, what are they talking about? This is the best time to be gay in America. I mean, you can't say nothing to criticize the gay community. I mean, if you own a business and you go, well, I don't agree with that, you will have 50 reporters outside your door and people marching around like, shut them down, shut them down. So people just right now, just avoid it. Man, I don't talk about that stuff. I don't even talk about it, man. This is a great time to be gay. Same thing with all of this racism that's everywhere. It's a great time to be a black person in America. It's great. I'm telling you. I'm not saying abuse it, But because everybody's hypersensitive, they're tiptoeing. Like, you know what? Do you want black coffee? Wait, did I say black coffee? I didn't mean black and... Tell you what. How would you like to call your coffee? Okay, I want to give you the choice to decide whether you want to call it black, coffee of color. It's up to you, because I don't want to be offensive. It's a great time to be black. So what is everybody whining about? You know what it is? They're mad for nothing. They have bought into all of the rhetoric like these people are spewing out, and now they're walking around believing it. Yeah.
We all communities across this country, and and we mentioned it at the beginning, ripping children away from their parents' arms.
Whoa, did you get that one? Did you catch that? I brought that one out in the beginning. First of all, we all are. See, maybe you guys sitting at that table, but you don't speak for me, because that's news to me. I don't feel that way. But secondly, she's out here talking about, ripping babies from their parents. See? Yeah, because you know what that's designed to do? Pull at the heartstrings of all the parents out there that are not informed to know what that process is, and the fact that they're not ripping babies. See, they want to create this image that the lady comes across the border like, this is me baby, and then all of a sudden, you gonna give me that, but give me, no, stop, I don't take my baby. Shut up, give me, baby. Now get her out of here. Get her out of here. Let's put this baby in a cage somewhere. That's not happening, but you know what? They want people to think that. See, creating false narratives, right? Okay, just like the caravan, it's just peaceful people coming across the border. We don't even want to show the current video footage of the people in Tijuana that's saying exactly what Donald Trump was saying, because we need to make everybody remember and think that all Mexicans hate Donald Trump, even the ones down there in Tijuana that saying Donald Trump was right. We don't want to run that footage on CNN or MSNBC, because we want everybody to think that Donald Trump is a racist against everybody except for old rich white men, and he rips babies from the parents. Unlike Obama, when he turned over about 2,000 or so kids over to human traffickers without verifying that they were their parents. Yeah, that's not ripping babies from their parents. That's not giving babies over to, human traffickers. No, that was a standard procedure. That's how we handle all illegal immigrant kids. But we don't want to talk about that. Shh, everybody. All right.
Worry me that I absolutely feel that we have to have
how
oversight
about just,
on.
malign the CIA and the FBI and the State Department and all those important institutions that are fundamental to how our democracy works.
What I feel
you hear that? Well, how about undermining? See, she didn't say attacking. See, because she know he never attacked. He undermined it. See, so I guess that's considered what, attacking? No, what is considered attacking would be shut it down, get rid of it. I'm going to go down there today into the office and say, this is what you're going to write, do, say, and so on and so forth. But when you see corruption taking place in it and you call it out, think about this. He runs that department. If he was really a dictator, do you think they would be having a Russia collusion probe? Do you think that they would have taken so long to get rid of Lisa Page and the rest of those jokers who obviously were corrupt? Do you think that it would have taken that long? Do you think he would have probably got in office day one and said, get him out of here, get rid of him? See, that's what they're trying to paint the picture of, but that's not what President Trump is doing, but that's what they want you to think is happening.
Don't like what it is, and sometimes, okay, but then you don't like we have policy disagreements, but you're saying undermining democracy. And I want to caution us, because those are very bold words. If we have policy disagreements, let's focus on those policy disagreements. And I'll be happy to discuss those at any point. But this is what I've been getting at kind of all week, which is we tend to go right at the jugular. Right? We say you're undermining democracy, you're a bad person fundamentally. That's not always true. We have policy disagreements on a lot of these things.
I think it's interesting that we talked about some of the most divisive issues, including immigration, but the thing that set all of you off was the president. We have to leave the conversation there. Thank you so much.
Knockout. See, just punched them all in the face. He hit them with the Three Stooges slap, line them up across all of your faces, because you all were brought here to create and paint false narratives to incite division, fear, and move people's minds towards Donald Trump is this big evil person and we shouldn't vote for him, even if the policies that he has make sense. We have to combat everything about this man. Even when he does good things, we hide that, we bury that. Even when people who we've deemed to hate Donald Trump show that they actually support Donald Trump, like the Latinos or the growing amount of black people, we want to make sure those black people are not heard on our stations. But we want to find the ones that, we stick a mic in their face and they go in. Man, that cat, he did this and this and that. See, it's called propaganda, people. Disinformation. It's information operations. It is let us demonize the other party and let us also project our eval onto them so that you think they're the evil ones, and we're not. And my man Dan called him out on it. He saw it, sniffed it out, and was like, I'm not going to sit here and let you guys do this. It's a bunch of garbage. See, because you want to use this inflammatory language when all you really are mad at is, I don't like his style. He's not cordial. He doesn't say nice things. And guess what else? He exposes us. The nerve of him. The nerve of him to let everybody know that we're actually in the bag for the left, and we have a political agenda. We're not real news stations. And he had the nerve to tell everybody about that. And that hurt our feelings. So now what we have to do is we have to paint him as, Diablos, so that this way people won't leave him and they won't vote for him. And maybe our sorry ratings will start to go up. No, they're not. No, they're done. They're done. Matter of fact, we can go ahead and bury him. Let's say the last words for the ratings for CNN and MSNBC and throw some dirt on it. Matter of fact, let's not even say last words. Let's just throw it off of a bridge. Anyway, find me on Facebook, find me on Twitter. Check me out Wednesday nights, 7:30, live radio blog talk show, Kevin's Corner, and I go live on YouTube. Check out Extreme Tees. For some reason, this is showing backwards on my video. I hope you can see it. It goes this way, y'all. Extreme Tees and flip. Okay, you can get it. Anyway, also, if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, there's a link in the bottom to do so. Feel free to do that. And otherwise, we will check you out next time at Kevin's Corner. Make sure you hit share, like, and subscribe. Had to take the time to, just talk about that garbage. I know it's a longer video, but Dan gave it to him. He wasn't going to sit back and let that garbage take place. Anyway, check me out next time at Kevin's Corner. God bless, and we'll see you next time.